A very good afternoon to everyone and a very warm welcome for today's webinar. This is brought to you by IIM Calcutta in association with VC Now. We are extremely delighted to have you join us and look forward to an engaging and insightful session ahead. I'm sure it would be very helpful for all of you to take a decision upon investing on one of the very premier programs of IIM Calcutta. As you know, all of you might know that the manufacturing sector is at a pivotal moment, rapidly evolving through smart and digital technologies that are redefining how industries operate and compete. For today's professionals, the challenge is no longer whether to adapt, but how to lead this transformation with confidence and strategic insight. That is very important and the key. Uh, Today's webinar, which is titled as Leading Tomorrow's Manufacturing Today, the Smart Way with IIM Calcutta, brings together thought leadership from IIM Calcutta to explore the future of manufacturing leadership. In this live webinar, Professor Vishal Vansal and Professor Sekat Dutt will share perspectives on why smart manufacturing is central to modern leadership, how emerging technologies are shaping careers, and how professionals can stay ahead in this dynamic landscape. This session will also offer a comprehensive overview of the advanced program in smart manufacturing leadership, which is on offer now. The admissions are open, highlighting its curriculum, learning outcomes, and the career advantages it offers to forward-looking manufacturing leaders. The webinar will, of course, conclude with a Q&A session that will give you a chance to get your queries answered. Participants are welcome to post their questions in the chat during the session, which will be addressed during the Q&A segment. We are pleased to introduce the esteemed speakers for today's webinar, Professor Vishal Vansal and Professor of Practice Sekat Dutt, representing IIM Calcutta. We regret that Professor Parthopriya could not join the session today because of medical exigency, but both these professors will be addressing us today. So I would introduce Professor Bansal first. Professor Bansal is Assistant Professor of Operations Management at IIM Calcutta and holds a PhD from IIM Ahmedabad and MTech from IIT Kanpur. His research focuses on stochastic processes, queuing theory, the simulation with applications in automated warehouses, vehicle sharing platforms, and omni-channel retailing. Professor Bansal has received several awards, including the IFCI Award and Best Paper Award at IISc and SOM conferences. I would now introduce Professor Sekat Dutt, who brings in a rich experience of 26 years in the IT industry with deep expertise in project and program management, enterprise applications, and agile methodologies. He is the author of 5 Pearson published books, including Industry 4.0 and Machine Learning, widely used as textbooks at leading institutions such as IIM Calcutta and NIT Durgapur. A PMP, PMI, ACP, and certified Scrum Master. He also holds the Google AI Essential certification. Formerly Senior Director at Cognizant, Sekat managed large-scale global programs across industries. He currently serves as Professor of Practice at IIM Calcutta and IIM Kolkata, teaching MBA and executive programs and actively mentoring future leaders. So I would not take too much of time from here, so the session goes like this. After this, I will put the forum to both our esteemed professors to speak, and then we will go through the, details of the program that IIM Calcutta also has to offer for your benefit. And later on, we'll take a Q&A session and conclude the entire forum. So thank you, both the speakers to have given time today, despite your busy schedule. I would open the forum to both speakers now. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Pulak. Yeah, so I think Professor Sekat, can we begin with the PPT then?
Okay, yeah, sure. Thank you, Professor Bansal. Thank you, Mr. Patnaik. Shresi, can we put up the slides, please? So, good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining the webinar and showing interest in understanding smart manufacturing and what is happening in the industry. So, very heartening to see a large number over here. Obviously, there are a lot of things happening in the industry today in manufacturing sector. things are all changing. So I'll try to give a glimpse of what is happening and how we can implement those changes, and what is the role of you, all of you, as a leader who can bring those changes to your respective organizations. So, but before we actually talk about the implementation of smart manufacturing, so it is important to understand why smart manufacturing has become essential. So, Suresh, next slide, please. So, there are a few things which have led to the way manufacturing has been shaped today. First and foremost is the customer expectation. So, as you can all understand who are in the industry, that customer expectations are rapidly evolving. People now want customized products, faster delivery, and high quality at the same time. And also, the factories that you are working on are becoming increasingly connected, which gives real-time visibility and the ability to predict issues before they actually occur. And operational efficiency and cost reduction have become critical for staying competitive in global markets. Also, at the same time, sustainability pressures actually push us towards greener and more optimized processes. And finally, the workforce itself is changing. Today's manufacturing professionals must be equipped with strong digital and analytical skills to thrive in this new environment. So all these are making us change the way traditional manufacturing has been performing, and smart manufacturing industry 4.0, 5.0, all these terms are now coming up. So when organizations think about smart manufacturing, the first instinct is often to aim big, like full factory automation, end-to-end digital twins, or AI-driven decisioning and more. But successful transformation don't begin with massive initiatives. So they begin with controlled experiments. I would say start small but scale fast. So let me explain what I wanted to say. So start by identifying one high impact measurable use case, such as predictive maintenance. Ceci, can we have the next slide, please? So such as predictive maintenance on a critical machine. That can be one important use case for your organization, or say automated quality inspection in a specific line, or energy optimization in a high consumption zone. So those we can probably implement smart manufacturing, measure results, refine the approach, and then only scale horizontally across the plants and vertically across business functions. So this start small, scale fast philosophy not only reduces risk, but also builds internal capability, confidence, and sponsorship. Most importantly, early wins generate the evidence and momentum you need to justify larger investments. Think of it as building a digital flywheel. Once it starts turning, it accelerates everything else, right? So, the implementation of smart manufacturing practices is not a destination, but it is a journey. And before you can determine the route of that journey, you need to know your starting point. So a good first step is to assess your current maturity and establish priorities. So many factories today operate with fragmented systems, like legacy machines, inconsistent data, siloed processes. Those are normal. And it is also why structured maturity assessment is crucial. So I'll say evaluate your current state across dimensions such as data availability, system integration, process stability, workforce skill levels, culture, leadership readiness. So all these parameters, and see where you stand today. For example, you can ask candid questions like, are machines sensor ready? Because you'll be needing a lot of them in your smart manufacturing. Are processes standardized? Is the data clean and accessible? Does your workforce trust automation? So those answers allow you to design the transformation roadmap that is realistic and grounded, and not just aspirational or disconnected. Right? That is very important to start with. And then you have, if you have decided to embark on the journey, then you have to see how you can prepare yourself. The first part is a smart manufacturing cannot thrive without a strong digital backbone, right? We all know. So this includes reliable connectivity on the shop floor, modernized IT and your OT systems, scalable cloud or edge environments, and clear data governance structures. So all these are important. But first and foremost, your connectivity is often where the journey begins. So without your stable, secure, and plant-wide networks, whether it's wired or wireless or 5G, none of the advanced solutions will function as intended. So after connectivity, then you have to think about platforms such as your manufacturing execution uh, softwares and your SCADA or IoT frameworks that capture, process, and orchestrate the data that you will be using to drive your smart manufacturing journey. So your digital infrastructure must be designed for real-time operations with resilience, stability, scalability, so that it can support future applications like AI-based optimizations or autonomous quality controls, digital twins. All these are the key pillars of your smart manufacturing. So those are part of the 9 pillars of your Industry 4.0, right? So think of the infrastructure as a nervous system of your smart manufacturing. If it is weak or unreliable, no amount of digital tooling will deliver results. Then, as you understand, technology alone cannot transform a factory, but people will do. So you should focus heavily on organizational change management. There will be internal resistance to change due to several factors like fear of redundancy or lack of understanding of the new technologies or simply reluctance to shift from time-tested traditional practices. So effective change management is must. It is very much required. Now, to enable this shift, the organization must invest proactively on things like reskilling and upskilling programs, includes training operators to understand digital interfaces, which are newly introduced, teaching technicians to interpret sensor data, right? Or empowering the supervisor with analytical tools to make faster fact-based decisions. More importantly, roles themselves must be redesigned. For example, new positions such as digital champions or data enabled engineers, automation coordinators will become essential for your organization. So you have to make sure that people feel confident, capable, and supported. Then the adoption also accelerates naturally. So that is the path we need to go. Now, there is not everything will be smooth during this journey. One important thing that we need to keep in mind is about cybersecurity and compliance. Because we have now a connected factory we're talking about, it's a powerful factory, no doubt, but it's a vulnerable one as well. Because your OT systems will become integrated with your IT networks and cloud platforms, cybersecurity is non-negotiable now. Manufacturers must establish a multi-layered defense model. This includes segmentation of networks, continuous monitoring of endpoints, secure access control, strong authentication, and regular vulnerability assessments. So cybersecurity is not a one-time setup. It is an ongoing discipline that needs to be embedded in daily operations. Similarly, compliance. Compliance is equally important, as we understand. So depending on your industry, whether it is automotive or aerospace or pharma or consumer goods, there may be strict standards for data handling, traceability, safety, reporting, right? So smart manufacturing initiatives must be designed so that the digital solutions enhance the compliance and not overly complicate it. So that should be already embedded into it. And finally, your sustainability is the key mantra now. So sustainability is no longer a compliance requirement; it is a competitive differentiator that we are leveraging. So smart manufacturing is not just about efficiency or automation; it is about building a future-ready, sustainable operation. Uh, Modern factories can leverage IoT sensors, AI-based energy monitoring, digital twins, so that they can reduce energy consumption, eliminate waste, or enhance resource efficiency. All these things they should be able to do. So smart manufacturing gives you the visibility and control needed to meet the sustainability goals while also reducing cost. Now, to implement all these things, there is a big role all of you play in your organization. So, seriously, next slide, please. So, so the leadership, you will be part of the leadership who brings the change, right? So there is a big responsibility on you. Successful smart manufacturing implementation is not just a technology sprint, as we understand it. Has a strategic transformation. It has this start small, scale first component. You should assess your readiness honestly at the start, build a strong digital infrastructure, empower people. So all this calls for strategic and cultural leadership. So where we set the vision and inspire our teams to embrace what is possible. It requires us to champion a mindset of innovation and continuous transformation. Encouraging experimentation and learning across every level of the organization is very important. Now, so it pushes us to promote true cross-functional digital collaboration, breaking silos so that our engineering, operations, IT, business teams, they can co-create value together for the customers. Each one of us a role to play in shaping the future of our factories, our people, our competitiveness. So the program that we have designed at IIM Calcutta for this advanced programming smart manufacturing, we have built it in such a way that you can apply the insights and capabilities you gain to drive meaningful organization impact. And this provides you with a strong technical foundation of all these 9 pillars I talked about and the leadership capability to drive the transformation in your manufacturing processes. So with that, I'll end my speech. So, Professor Bansal, if you want to add anything about the program.
Yeah, thank you so much, Professor Saikat. I believe that this 15 minutes of the description of the program as well as the vision that we have for this particular program is I think it is very clear now. For me, I look at, like, of course, I agree with all the points that you mentioned, that how we use various technologies and how it has to be integrated, right? When we look at smart manufacturing, or broadly we can say smart operations, it is not a standalone thing. Yeah. For me, smart manufacturing or smart operations, if I may use this word smart operations as compared to smart manufacturing, which is a broader term, it's kind of a thought process or a journey, right? Rather than looking at smart manufacturing capability as some kind of a disruption that suddenly happened in the world, I believe that smart manufacturing is about how can we make better decisions in the end, right? How to improve the quality of the decisions that we are taking, how to, and of course, as an outcome, how to improve the performance measures, right? How, if you're focusing on, let's say, throughput time, fulfillment time, based on whichever industry you are coming from. So how to improve our decision making so that we can improve the outcomes of our decisions eventually. If you look at the journey of various thought processes that evolved, let's say from 1940s to so far till now, we have a philosophy called as lean philosophy, right? So lean philosophy, I also see as kind of smart manufacturing way, right? That lean philosophy talks about how can I reduce or minimize my wastage in the system. What is the meaning of wastage in the first place, right? From whose point of view you want to look at the idea of waste, right? So all of this is nothing but a journey that we are evolving with time. Whatever technology that was available on that particular time period, we were using that, and the idea is that how to improve our decision making, right? So now when we talk about smart manufacturing, of course, our focus will be more on the technology part. It can be automation, it can be use of robotics, it can be AI, it can be blockchain, smart contracts. All of these things will be part of sort of smart manufacturing or smart operations. But in the end, it is about it is a thought process in the end about getting or improving the manufacturing processes or service processes or operations of a company, right? So this program is going to cater or to target to those kind of tools and technologies and techniques which will assist you as a decision maker, as a leader in the manufacturing industry, so that you can come up with better decisions in the end, so that you can generate some surplus for various stakeholders. Stakeholders are not just inside the organizations, but also outside the organization. What I really like what Professor Saikat just said, that we also look at sustainability not as an obligation, but also as a competitive advantage in the larger scheme of things, right? So we need to think about these tools, techniques, which will cater to the needs of all the stakeholders. Some of these stakeholders of an organization, as we already know, are inside the organization, but the stakeholder group is much bigger, right? Your government, the population, the wildlife, all of these stakeholders are also very important to the decisions that you take, right? So smart manufacturing or smart operations are also going to talk about your impact, the impact of your operations on the rest of these stakeholders, not just the board, not just the CEO, not just the employees or the shareholders, but in a much larger context, what is the impact of your decisions of your or operations on all of these stakeholders? So the idea is that what are these tools, techniques, technologies that you can use to so that we can leverage all of these things in order to improve the system, in order to improve the operations by providing an environment where it has a positive impact for all these stakeholders, right? So this is at least my idea or my understanding of having this program in smart manufacturing. And of course, the way we design, I'm not sure whether we are going to show the various modules that we have designed. So we have designed this program very meticulously to cater to all of these things, right? So maybe I can mention some of the modules that we have designed for this program. For example, we can start with foundations of smart manufacturing, where we are going to talk about the evolution of manufacturing in this industry 4.0, lean, agile, all of those things. We'll talk about what are these various technologies, whether it is your IoT, Internet of Things, or it can be your AI, 3D printing, robotics. All of these technologies we are going to discuss in the next module. The third module will be how to leverage the data that we have in order to analyze the system, improve the system, and prescribe some action for the system or the operation that we are catering to, right? So there we are going to talk about digital twins, simulation modeling, fundamentals of manufacturing processes, fundamentals of various matrix or performance measure that we have associated with these kind of manufacturing settings, right? We have the next module, which is about enabling the infrastructure, as I think Professor Saikat was already talking about, that for all of these technologies, you need to have an underlying infrastructure that can support these kind of technologies, right? So we are going to discuss about the infrastructure that will enable you as a decision maker, as a leader, to integrate these technologies and leverage these kind of technologies eventually, right? The next module will be on what is the impact of the supply chain and operations of your firm on the sustainability part. Generally, overall idea of sustainability is we talk about 3 Ps, right? Triple bottom line kind of a thing, which talks about not just the profit, because of course profit we know that we need to take some actions, we need to take some decisions which will maximize my profit eventually. But sustainability is not just about 1 P, which is profit, but it is also about the planet, the people around you, right? So we discussed triple bottom line or 3 Ps of sustainability, and we'll see how these technologies or solutions will help you to cater to the needs of these 3 Ps, not just profitability, but also planet and people around you, which can be impacted by your operations. We can have one more module on strategy and leadership that we have in digital manufacturing. We'll also discuss about AIML innovations and then finance part of smart manufacturing, right? So we have carefully designed, all of us, Professor Saikat is here, Professor Parthopriya and myself, we try to touch upon various aspects, various angles from where we can talk about smart manufacturing, we can talk about various technologies that can be used, right? So from various angles, not from just the technical aspect, but broadly from the managerial aspect, from the infrastructural aspect, from the financial implications of all of those things, right? So we have carefully designed a curriculum that I believe will be helpful for the leaders in the manufacturing industry that we are in. Yeah. So yeah, Professor Saikat, do you have anything to add?
I think just one more thing, that we have also the capstone project where the participants will get a chance to do hands-on experimentation on some of the cutting-edge technologies using which they can actually transform the smart manufacturing. So that is also on the card.
Yeah, capstone project is a great component where you can sort of integrate or you can use all the learnings that you have across
Right.
these modules that we discussed, right? We have several modules that we have designed. So capstone project, generally it's a kind of a group project. Generally people make their own groups in these kind of programs. And then they choose a particular topic which is of interest to you, which might be relevant for the industry, for your company, or for you, you might be interested in that, and it gives you an opportunity where you can collaborate with other people in your batch and then try to solve a problem essentially, right, using all the learnings, all the takeaways that you had throughout the program. Yeah. So capstone project is a very important or unique component of this entire program.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, so
Yeah, you can certainly ask a question. We will just, try to conclude this part. We'll open up for a Q&A. You will definitely get the opportunity, Mr. Kohli, and just give us some time, but you can just keep your question reserved. We'll take it up, or you can post it in the chat also in the meantime. But if you want to, interact, you are definitely welcome. We will just take it a little bit forward from here. I think, Professor Vishal and Professor Professor Dutt, yeah, we have some, queries which have come in from various aspirants, mostly who have shown interest into the program, and a lot of questions are going on in their mind that how things are going
Okay.
to shape up in smart manufacturing. So if you allow, Shashi would, deep dive into a few of the questions which you may
Sure.
appropriately answer in the forum. And then we will, we'll go through the, few of the participants have requested for a, details of the program structure and all. We will go through that and we will then open up for Q&A. And
Sure. Sounds
so Mr. Ravindranath can then take up the query also appropriately. Yeah.
Yes, I will just share a couple of the questions that we come across when we are speaking to potential candidates or people who reach out to us asking for more information about the program processes. So I think it would be suitable for all the participants today if we share the questions with you and if you share your inputs and insights on these particular questions. So, for example, when we have people who are manufacturing leaders in the segment, right? So they reach out to us and they are really concerned about how they can stay up to date in the era of Industry 4.0 and 5.0 and onwards. What are the steps that they should be taking to keep themselves up to date in the right manner? So, what would you like to suggest for such manufacturing leaders who have these questions?
yeah, Professor Saiker, you want to take it up?
Yeah, sure. Uh, okay, I think a very relevant question today because the uh, the way manufacturing is actually transforming today, it's actually very fast, right? So there are two things as we have been discussing throughout this session. One is the technology part of it. So you need to learn new technologies, for example, your robotics, digital twin, AI, right? Automations, IoT. So all these are the cutting edge technologies that build the backbone of your smart manufacturing that needs to be learned. The second part is the implementation part of it. Just knowing the technology won't be suffice. So you need to learn how to implement those. So as we are discussing in the program, we'll be actually showing a assessment framework which can help you to understand where you stand today and then build a strategy or roadmap where you want to go and what are the steps you can do, which is called the strategic leadership part. Then in between those two extremes, there are certain skills that will be needed. For example, your finance, right, or your supply chain, connected technology. So all these will actually bridge the gap between these two, where you are versus where you want to go. So for a professional like you who are in the mid-career and want to actually grow in their career, knowing this technology and leadership along with those finance and other connected technologies, that is very important. So I would say keeping abreast with all these new things that are happening, along with lot of case studies who have successfully done it in the industry, understanding how they have done it and trying to replicate that success story in your organization, that is the best way to learn and grow.
Right. Thank you, Professor. I think a lot of our participants would benefit from the insights because this question must be there on a lot of people's minds as of today, I'm sure.
Yep.
So I move on to a couple of the other questions that we have encountered. So a lot of leaders complain that it is very difficult to completely implement digital transformation initiatives because there is often some resistance from the workforce. So how can leaders drive this kind of an initiative in an effective manner? What would you like to share to that?
Yeah, maybe I'll pick it up as well. So it's a very, very relevant question because digital transformation on theory looks like we have to do a lot of technology things, but behind technology, there are people who need to be managed. So that's why I said in my speech that organization change management is the key. There will be troubles, there will be resistance from the people unless they understand what is the benefit out of it, right? So the best way is to actually get into a coaching mode and make them understand what are the benefits. The benefit, see, when we are talking about automation, the first thing people think about is it going to take my job? But that is a misnomer. That's not the apprehension that we should have. Our idea should be, will it take my monotonous, repetitive job and will enable me to do more innovative work in my life? That is what it should be placed in their mind, right? So how people interpret these changes, how people understand about these changes, that actually makes them either to resist or to support. So upscaling, reskilling, making the people understand the benefits and getting them along the changes, that is the best way to do. You cannot force people to change. It cannot be done. It should be going on along with them. So that is how it should be placed. That's why organization change management is a large part of our module as well, where the behavioral aspect, team handling aspect, reskilling aspect, team organization aspect, everything will be covered. So that is key. Without people, your whole transformation journey will fail. So that is very key.
Thank you, Professor. So I move on to another question. So, in today's times, technology is advancing at a very fast pace. We do not know what is going to come up after a year or 2 years or maybe even 6 months. So, a lot of professionals have a concern with understanding what is the best way to ensure long-term career growth in manufacturing, keeping in mind the pace of rapid technological changes in today's times. What would you like to share for this question?
Yeah, maybe I can just provide a small comment on that. I think for longevity, if we talk about, we are no longer live in a world where you will be fine by working in silos. That my job is just maybe just taking care of procurement. I do not need the sort of foundations or understanding of technology or finance or marketing, right? So I think the first point from my side would be that how can you sort of get yourself familiar with a cross-functional expertise, not just sticking to your own domain, your own functionality, but how do you look at other functions of management or technology, right? A lot of these functions that we talk about now, they have a huge interactions. For example, I for quite some year I've been working in the area of retailing or omni-channel retailing, where technology is paving its way. Uh, if you look at the retailing part, retailing is a nice amalgamation of operation, supply chain, and marketing at the same time, right? Because you are talking about the pricing policies, channel management, change management, customer management across channels that you have. At the same time, you have to take the same decisions of inventory management or procurement that you have, right? So we are no longer in a world where working in silos is sufficient. You need to have a good understanding of other verticals of the businesses, and and realize the importance of the interactions among these verticals, right? Because all of these verticals, one decision taken in one of the vertical is going to have an impact on the decisions or the choices that you are going to have in your vertical, right? So the first thing is that to understand the importance of cross-functional sort of roles, as well as you have to continuously upgrade your skills, because as you said that the world is continuously evolving with new solutions, with new technologies, with new thought processes. So are you keeping up with this pace or not in terms of understanding or upgrading your skills for that matter? And I think this course provides you sort of a bouquet of all of those technologies that we know so far, and understanding their impact on various facets of the business, not just the operations part of it. I think Professor Saikat, if you want to add something.
No, very, very relevant point. I think when you talked about these cross-functional teams and understanding cross-functional verticals and technology, so understanding this bigger picture, right? That is the key today. So all the CXO level people, when we actually see how they understand the business, it's about the bigger picture they understand. So below them, probably many people don't get that bigger picture or don't want to get into that bigger picture. That is probably the biggest mistake in the career ladder they make. So unless you understand where your component fits in that bigger scheme of the whole plant or manufacturing unit, you may not be able to do justice or doing most efficiently your job. So yeah, very important to understand that bigger picture. Completely agree.
Thank you, Professor. So the next question is also very, I should say, relevant to whatever we have discussed till now, as far as the questions that I have shared with you today, the common ones. So one very common question is, how should a leader prepare the workforce for the shift with, new technology like AI and automation? And is this going to reduce jobs in manufacturing? And how should leaders address this concerning area that the workforce might also be having on their minds? A very relevant question once again, so I leave it up to you to answer that.
That is in everyone's mind. Will AI take my job, right? So, but as
Even
I
even
mentioned,
we have the same anxiety, right?
I agree that is true. But believe me, it's not. It's already proven that AI is only going to take up the repetitive, mundane jobs. Right? That's what they're built for. So unless you feed them the data of more repetitive, more data, AI can't replicate it. That's what they're doing. So in a manufacturing plant, doing the monitoring day in day out, manually monitoring, looking at the screen and identifying the errors, is that a good job that you will describe? Probably no, right? If AI can do that, do the monitoring for you and alert you when you are probably doing something more interesting thing to do, that probably is a good thing to support rather than saying that AI will take my job. So I would say it's this way, that AI is inevitable. It, if even if you don't want this to come, it will come, right? So there is no point in resisting. Rather, how to imbibe AI and make sure that we make use of it very innovatively in our work and make our life easier. That is probably where we should invest in, rather than saying that, oh, AI will take our jobs, so I'll resist. Nobody can resist AI now. So that's what Satya Nadella also said, that you can't resist AI. That is not going to happen. So rather, let's make use of it innovatively. That's the best way to do. That's my suggestion.
Yeah, true. And I think it is not about that operator A will replace operator B or operator Y, because AI is nothing but just another technology, maybe much advanced than earlier technological interventions that we saw, whether it is robotics or some kind of automation or using these kind of ERP systems, right, that were not there earlier. It is just another technological interventions, maybe at a different scale, you can say. So I look at it that it is about how humans can work in collaboration with these technologies, not having that kind of fear or anxiety that this technology will eliminate us or will replace us. But we need to think about how these two pieces of the puzzle, humans and technology, can collaborate with each other and can provide a better solution to the problems that we have.
Right. Thank you, professors, for
Yeah.
this very relevant question being answered by both of you. I think AI and its impact is looming large among all of us in all of our minds. So I have just one more question before I take the participants through the main features and details about the program. So the question is about if you can share some real world examples of smart manufacturing creating measurable business impact, because everything is related to revenue and business at the end of the day. So how do we correlate these two, and what examples would you like to share with the participants?
So there are many, very difficult to pick and choose one, but yeah, very easy ones that many, even the small companies are actually employing is the predictive maintenance part, right? So uh, we all know that once a machine breaks down, it is very difficult. It actually incurs a lot of cost in terms of your wastage of your productive time, as well as it needs that kind of repairing to bring it back to normal. But that's why if we can employ the data that is coming up of those machines, put it through some AI-enabled analytics and predict the maintenance or the failure that is going to happen on that machine, and then do the predictive maintenance much earlier than the actual failure. That is the use case I think most of the companies have already deployed. So there's nothing but a way of looking into smart manufacturing. So I am now smarter because I don't uh, allow my machine to break down. Correct? But it's a very easy one. Even the small companies are deploying it. Like that, there are multiples, like advanced components like your digital twins, robotics, like how Amazon is using robotics to reduce their packaging time to milliseconds, kind of thing. So these are the real case studies that we will actually discuss during the course, no doubt. But obviously, there are plenty. So across the globe, across different industries like automotive, your manufacturing, energy, oil and gas, everywhere smart manufacturing has uh, invaded. So a lot of use cases, I would say.
Shashi, I mean, before you get into your in briefing of the program structure, Mr. Ravindranath had a question. If you can allow him to ask the question, and then we move on to the Q&A later.
Right.
Mr. Ravindranath, please.
Uh, yes, good morning, good evening. I'm Ravindranath. My experience in integrated steel plants for 40 years. I worked in different integrated steel plants. Uh, I worked in plant maintenance and project management, both areas. Okay, this smart manufacturing, you're saying that, okay, fine. One is that predictive maintenance he has touched. Okay, we have many critical equipments which are connected to the centralized system by vibration analysis and all those things, lubrication and all those things it is done. But one is a construction projects where we construct for greenfield project or brownfield project where we go for expansion of our manufacturing units like steel melt shop and continuous casting or pellet plant like that. So majority of the activities requires one is that civil construction, another is structural construction, and equipment is anyhow ordered and manufactured from outside. It comes and we erect, test, commission, all those things. Those are the main activities. How this you are okay? We work in the field. I'm mostly I work in the field only because though I am HOD, but my main job is to see that things are moving in the right direction, meeting the targets of the project, and people are safe. That is the main thing, and project cost is within the control. But how this smart manufacturing is useful in civil construction, because steel plants are very huge structures where it requires a very strong foundations and big shop floor buildings with the structures and with EOT cranes of even up to 500-ton capacity, 600-ton capacity, 300-ton capacity, all those things. How these smart manufacturing techniques, because our shop floor engineers are diploma holders and they are controlled by the graduate engineers. Okay. But these technologies, how it will be useful for steel plant projects, erection, testing, construction activities. If you can throw some light on it, it will be helpful to me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, Professor Saket, yeah, please.
Yeah. So, good question, Mr. Srinath Kohli. Now, you have been in this industry for quite some time now. So, are you seeing any change the way you are doing this commissioning and erection commissioning and all these steps earlier versus now? Is there any automation monitoring that you are seeing, or you are doing the same old way? How is it right now?
No, you see, when a contractor is engaged or our technology supplier supplies machines along with them, because those are all very costly equipment and very sophisticated equipment, which are finally connected to the automation level 1, level 2, level 3, like that.
Got it.
Okay, fine. So ultimately, the production activity are controlled by our automation systems, which are level 1, level 2 systems. Those are
Got it.
all automation systems supplied by the technology suppliers. That is one part. When in the field, as you asked that, when we erect a very complicated equipment, we still use, our people use the old system of alignment testing and all. Okay, when we do test run of the equipments, then we use vibration analysis and lubrication quality, all those things. We use it so that finally, for alignment of that, along with the coordinates of the shop floor, we use laser equipment so that it is exactly sits where it is, and we use laser level instruments and all. But this smart, okay, that is the going on for quite long time. When I started my career in 1981 and now 2016, 2015, is over years it has transformed. But now you are telling something smart manufacturing, AI, digital transformation, and IoT and all that. I don't know how it will be useful for the person who is working on the concrete machine and pouring. He do the same shuttering and do the same reinforcement steel and do the pouring and curing and then taking a test sample and check its strength, curability and everything. And the same fellow, structural fellow, we give the structural steel and he fabricate along with his regular this thing. How this smart manufacturing, because ultimately we have to erect and then it will go for real
That is
production.
right.
How it will
That
help.
is right. That is right. See, while some
Yes,
part of
over
it,
the
like
years, it has our alignment testing and all, it
agree.
has undergone changes and improvements. That's fine. But the present situation, as India is going for 2030, 200 million ton steel production, how it will help? That is the question.
Right. So, as you're saying, you're probably the mixing of the concrete or pouring and all that. Those are very hard steps that you cannot probably automate, right? But when you are saying I'm testing something and getting the results out of it, so if your testing is using AI technologies to give you better result, analyze the data that you are getting out of your uh, say test bed and analyzing it to give you answers like or predictions that this portion is actually getting good quality versus bad quality in a predictive fashion rather than just checking later. So that is one part of the AI that definitely you are going to use, right? Or you are probably using already. You are not doing manual testing like uh, 20 years before. You must be doing some kind of automation testing, use of AI and all that. That is also a part of your smart manufacturing. But obviously, your steel casting, that portion, that is a very hardcore part. That you cannot probably think about automating using smart manufacturing. That may not do, but whether your steel quality is actually going to be better by doing some kind of mixing, doing that data analysis based on your previous data and predicting whether the quality will be good or not. That is definitely what you can, where you can leverage data analytics of smart manufacturing. So
one area we face problem, as Madam Shreya Shri was telling, uh, when we go for structural fabrication. So for the contractor, we issue a lot of steel material. Then he started doing big columns and girders and all those things, beams. He manufactured and shipped it to the site and erect it. There, how to reduce the wastage, how to use the available steel structure in a very, as lean, you were talking about lean methods, how that lean, using lean manufacturing in that, so that the wastage of steel is reduced, and concrete, how it can be, these can be utilized for the shop floor fellow or for the contractor who is doing, because he is fabricating as per the drawings issued, detailed drawing or fabrication drawings issued by the engineering department. How this can be utilized in that, how, so that our wastage will be very less. Okay, as we steel plant, whatever waste steel is there, we'll again put it in the steel melt shop and melt it. That's okay. But how? Because we are buying those structures from outside. How we can reduce this? Lean practices or anything is part of the smart manufacturing?
lean is very much part of the smart manufacturing, and it is not about only the material wastage. It is also about the labor wastage, your effort wastage, time wastage. So it is reducing wastage in everywhere. A simple example. So your big structure that you are talking about, how much it moves from one stage to another, whether unnecessarily it is moving and wasting time, money, effort for everyone. That also you can actually find out using lean principles when we discuss about it, and identify. For example, we'll actually show an example of Toyota. They have used lean and reshaped their manufacturing unit in such a way that their uh, their motion, they call it motion. Motion means going from one place to another by an worker. That is reduced by the reshaping their whole manufacturing unit. That reduced the effort of the worker, the time, as well as increased productivity. So it has several steps. It is a very scientific way. We'll learn, we'll see how to do it. And obviously, everyone will be able to use in our respective industry, respective organization to see how to use those principles. So it is a proven one, Mr. Ravindra. So we'll be actually learning that and see how to apply. Definitely, your case also you'll be able to.
I think
More industries will get benefit once
we
it
need
is.
to move on. Mr. Ravinath, we will definitely take this up with you separately also. I mean, of course, we can have a good conversation.
Yeah,
Uh,
agree.
I mean, just for the benefit of everyone who is already logged in. Sheshi, can we share the program insights so that we go through the program insights and then we get into the Q&A if anybody has any other queries.
Yes, indeed. I will just take the participants through the main pointers for the program. As we know, the name of the program is Advanced Program in Smart Manufacturing Leadership, offered by IIM Calcutta in association with VC Now. This program is, again, a very unique offering in the educational sector for executives as of now. We do not have a lot of options. We do not have a lot of people teaching you how to, upskill yourself in this particular area, right? So this particular program is an 8 months long program. You can attend the program from the comfort of your home. You have to come to the campus once. There will be a campus visit for 4 days at the IIM Calcutta campus. To be eligible for the program, you have to have minimum 8 years of work experience, and your educational qualification should be either a graduation or a post-graduation with a minimum 50% aggregate marks. Classes are held on Saturdays, making it very convenient for working professionals. It's conducted from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. in the evening, which is convenient again. It's post your usual office timings. On completion of the program, you will be awarded with a certificate of completion by IIM Calcutta. You would also be awarded the IIM Calcutta Executive Education Alumni status. The program fee is 3,50,000 plus GST, payable in 3 installments. We also have finance options if you should reach out for us for the same. Moving on. Professors have already shared in short the details of the modules that would be there. So they are on screen. I would not be going through them in detail. Professors, if you want to share something with regards to any of these particular modules, I think you have already shared it earlier. You may please do so. Otherwise, I will move on with the other details of the program.
Yeah, I think we have already covered this part. So
Yes. So this is a sample certificate of completion offered by IIM Calcutta. This is what it would look like to those of you who complete the program and meet the criteria. As I already mentioned, if you complete the program, you would be awarded with the IIM Calcutta Executive Education Alumni status. You would be eligible to gain a lot of benefits out of this alumni status, which is on screen. This would also be discussed with you once we get in touch with you if you want more information. For the brevity of time, we are moving ahead. So the last date to apply for this program is the 20th of December. The program commences in the month of January. For details on the program, you may please reach out to our colleague Shivani.Sharma. Her email ID and her contact details are on screen for you to note. Shivani would request you to also please share your contact details in the chat box. If anybody wants to note that, they may please do so. I would stop the screen share and we will quickly take up a couple of the questions which have been shared with us in the chat box. Yes, so we have a couple of questions. Divi Bansal mentions, with so many online courses on AI, IoT, and Industry 4.0 available today, what gap does a structured program like this from IIM Calcutta uniquely fill? This is the question.
At least, yeah, I can quickly have 2 or 3 points regarding that. That uniqueness of our program is that we are, of course, providing the conceptual grounding, that foundations of smart manufacturing or various other philosophies and principles. But we also have a lot of hands-on tools and exercises during the duration of during the entire journey of the program. We are going to use a lot of these case studies. Some of these case studies are global. Some of these case studies are going to be in the Indian context, which will give you some insight that how others have actually addressed these kind of concerns and what were the pros and cons of those kind of decisions. So these are, I think, the three unique points that we have, that not just the conceptual clarity, but also the hands-on tools and techniques that we are going to use. And we are augmenting this learning with the real life case studies from the global context and the Indian context. So it will be a kind of a 360-degree view of smart manufacturing or smart operations. Yeah. Professor Saikat?
agree, completely agree with Professor Bansal. See, because you mentioned about a lot of online courses on IoT, IML, and all that. So, first point you should keep in mind that this is not a generic program on those technologies. This is not. If you are really interested to see how those technologies are used for smart manufacturing and how you should leverage to change your manufacturing organization to go to a transformation journey, then only you should enroll for this program. This is not a generic program where you will learn AIML or blockchain or other technologies. It's not. So that is the uniqueness of this program. All the focus is on how to leverage those technologies, your strategy, your leadership, your finance skill, everything together end to end to transform your manufacturing journey to embark into smart manufacturing. This is the key point.
Thank you, professors. I move on quickly to the other questions. Some people have asked for the module details. We have already mentioned that we would be sharing that with you individually as well. The course fee has also been shared. We would again be reaching out to each of you, as I mentioned. We have another question which says, are there any asked by Ashutosh Pandey. Are there any hands-on projects or industry case studies included in the program? That's the first part of the question. The second part being, what will be the evaluation process, exams, project, or continuous assessment? That's the question.
Yeah, I think I already mentioned that this is not just a sort of one-to-many communication that we are going to have a deck of slides and we are going to just present it. I think at IIM Calcutta that I can say we use a lot of these case studies which are open for the discussion, and participants basically discuss these things, that what is right, what was wrong, what worked for the company, what didn't work for the company, so that you can have a complete experience regarding the concepts that you learn and how these concepts are relevant or will be applied to a real world setting, right? So of course, there will be a lot of case studies that we are going to use. Yeah, what was the second part? Sorry, I missed that.
The second part was about the evaluation process, the exams, project, or continuous assessment.
Evaluation is, of course, continuous throughout the program. Typically, in other programs or on any program that we have, we generally have exam for every module, right? So I think we have 6, 7 modules that the more details can be shared later on. For every module, typically we have one exam. So you will be graded on that exam, and eventually you will have a total grade sheet towards the end. Having said that, we generally have a lot of flexibility that we provide to the different instructors of the program, different faculties who will be involved in this particular program, and they decide what and how should we evaluate the participants, right? So it's not a very rigid structure that at the end of 5 sessions or 6 sessions, there is just one exam. The evaluation can also go to even at the session level itself, right? So there is a lot of variety in terms of the evaluation procedure. But definitely in the end, the bottom line is the evaluation is continuous, right? Your entire grade, entire performance will not be evaluated just based on single exam, but we are going to evaluate it throughout the program.
Yeah. And that actually reminds me one of the differentiators that in our program, there will be the industry practitioners who will be coming and talking about how they implemented smart manufacturing and Industry 4.0 in their respective industry. So, along with the rich experience of the IIM Calcutta faculties, you are getting the experience sharing from the real industries in in multiple domains like automotive, pharma, and consulting. Different flavors you will get, and who will be talking about how smart manufacturing is actually brought into their organization. That is a real life experience that you will be getting.
And also the capstone project is
Yeah.
part of your evaluation, right? So you are
Agree.
this with the capstone project, because it will be graded assignment in that sense.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, professors. Quickly moving on to the next question. We are actually a little bit stretched as far as time is concerned. The question asked by Vipul Sharma goes like this: how can APSML be applied in industries like energy and finance? And are there hands-on demos or case studies? The second part, I think we have already answered. So the question being, how can APSML be applied in industries like energy and finance? That's the question.
Well, I think I can just take one part of it, and Professor Saikat can maybe elaborate if there are other parts. One part is that what the tools and techniques that we are going to discuss are sort of agnostic to the industry, right? In the end, if we talk about digital twin simulation, AIML techniques, regression, optimization, all of these tools and techniques are agnostic to the application that you have, right? It's up to your creativity that if I know how do you build an optimization model for a manufacturing setting, can I use the same optimization model, let's say, for my optimization of my financial portfolio, that what are these various financial instruments should I have in my portfolio which maximizes my return, right? So the tools and techniques that we are going to discuss, in the end, these are general tools and techniques which can be applied to any domain, whether you're coming from the energy side, from the finance side, from the marketing side. So tools and techniques are applicable to every industry. It is up to your creativity how you are going to use those tools and techniques in the end. Yeah, I think Professor Saikat
Yeah,
can.
I think the biggest benefit that you'll get from this kind of long duration programs are you will be actually uh, working with a lot of your colleagues who are from different industries. So it's a knowledge sharing forum And also, as I said, there will be industry practitioners, very senior ones, who will be coming and sharing how they used it. So you'll definitely get use cases where people have used these innovative technologies and get a spark. Okay, in my organization, this is relevant, and this is how we will be doing it. That is number one. Number two is your capstone project. It is designed in such a way that it actually brings out the problems that are there in your industry, and then makes you think about how to make a solution out of it using the technologies or tools, technologies, and strategies that you have learned in this program. So that is one forum where you'll actually see that how well you brainstormed and found out something that is very useful for your industry. So yeah, there will be a lot of chances for you to innovate and apply those things to your industry.
Right, right, Professor. So moving on to the next question, it mentions, will services be considered in this program? Right. For example, smart integrated transportation systems, change management in energy production, smart supply chain and logistics, etc.
Yeah, I think some part of it, well, like based on our conversation so far, it is very evident that we are going to touch upon these aspects as well, right?
Yeah, good.
Right. The next question mentions, sir, can we increase or monitor our productivity by reducing cycle time through smart manufacturing?
So very specific question. Probably that will be definitely covered in the classes, but we won't be able to teach this. So yes, so it will be covered. Very niche technologies and tools are available, so those will be covered in the classes.
Yes, indeed. So we have another question which is almost similar to the one that I just mentioned. It says, can we apply smart applications in machines and tools which are used in civil construction, pouring concrete, cut steel, and reduce waste? Again, it's very specific, I would say. It's a very specific question. So for the rest of you who have asked a couple of, okay, I have just one more question here. How will the APSML program and its alumni help me grow in my career? The program duration is quite long, that is good, but do you think the recruiters will consider it? Okay, asked by Roop Kishore. Roop, I think it is better that we speak to you one-on-one. That would be good for you so that we can counsel you. And if the professors also want to add on to this, definitely they are free to do that. But I think this is a very specific
No,
concern.
so just a quick comments on this one. One thing is that for these kind of long duration programs that we have at IIM Calcutta, we typically we do not provide any placement assistance in that sense, right? But because we are running, I'm not sure at 30, 35 such programs, what we have seen at least that these kind of programs that we run, they of course help the participants to upgrade their skills and eventually switch companies or maybe upgrade or upgrade in their own company or the firm, right? So these programs definitely help as part of learning, as part of career progression. But it is up to you that how you are going to utilize in the end the learning and the certificate, both the things. What we are offering at this point, apart from learning, is access to the alumni network, right? If you talk about the entire LDP bouquet that we have, the long duration program bouquet, we almost have 16,000 plus alumni at this point, right? So once you complete the program successfully, and when I say successfully, we have very specific thing, right? In terms of the requirement to complete the program successfully, you will have the access to that network. And now it's up to you that how can you leverage that network of 16,000 alumni. Regarding this program, this is the first batch, right? So you do not have alumni for this program because you are going to be the first batch. But of course, you will have the access for the rest of the executive education alumni. You will have the alumni status for IIM Calcutta Executive Education, and you will have access to the network, right? So it's up to you how you can leverage the learning and the network, both the things.
Yes.
And I think largely,
Thank you, sir.
the world is also moving towards skill-based education, leaving aside, degrees and diplomas, and we need to, create those skills, our capabilities, and do the networking at the best level to get onto the best of the opportunities that is available in the market today. So this program definitely would make sure of that. Just like the other programs have been doing for the last about 20-25 years at IIM Calcutta. So you can be rest assured about the, tangible returns as, once you complete the program. But yes, I mean, you have to, as Professor Bansal rightly said that, how to complement your certification and how to take that certification forward from your own abilities. That is something which is very important. We always have a set of aspirants from CAT also who are MBAs who land up getting jobs at 1 crore, and there are few of them who would also get a job of worth 25 or 30 lakhs, but their entry level has been the same. But then there is something as a differentiator which really takes them apart. So how smartly you can maneuver in this world, that is very important. Yeah, I
Thank
think
you,
we
sir.
will take a few questions from the audience, 2, 3 questions from the audience, although we know that we are stretching the time for both our busy professors, but still, if you have 2 or 3 questions, we can take it up. So anybody who has a question can raise their hand. So all the relevant information, brochures, links, everything, you will be receiving it on your mailbox. Shivani will also share her number on the chat box, her email ID also as well, so that you can post any query that you need to have. And even if any of your queries is not answered here in this forum, we will get back to you, certainly, whether it is from the faculty side or from the technical partner side as well. So any questions from anyone?
Sir, one last.
Yes.
Sir,
Please go ahead.
this program will be on Zoom only, or the MS Team is possible?
No, this will be only on Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other query?
If any of you have any queries, now is the time to raise your hand and ask the professors whatever queries you have. We are already on stretch time, and we would be concluding the session in a couple of minutes, maybe a minute or two. So any of you who have any queries at all with regards to the content of today's webinar, you may please raise your hand and ask your question.
So while we do that, our application deadline is nearing. So if you really wish to apply for the program, 20th is the cutoff date, 20th of December. By this time, you need to post your application, online application. The online application, once you post, it goes for shortlisting or selection. The selection will be done by the program directors themselves. And once you are shortlisted or selected, you will receive an offer letter from the institution. And based on that offer letter, you can make your first installment payment and join the program. And we plan to start the program from January. So, time is short if you really wish to grab an opportunity. This is the first ever program from many of the IIMs in smart manufacturing. And it is already, giving good, interest among aspirants. And, a lot of people from the industry are showing interest into this program. So if you want to, reserve your seat in the first cohort, which is the initial cohort, of course, you are most welcome, right? So I would not take too much of time. I would like to thank Professor Vansal, Professor Dutt, to extend their valuable time to us for this session today. We had about 70, 80 odd people who have joined in today for the webinar, and I'm sure they would have gained a lot of insights within the domain of smart manufacturing, and also they will take benefit out of the program itself. So thank you so much, and thank you so much, audience, for gathering today and seeking information from IIM Calcutta. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much,
Thanks,
you
everyone.
and your team, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you.
sir. Thanks.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, professors. Have a great evening ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you. Same to you.